Alright, we are live. Back doing some Chamsys bits. The other night I was playing around with some effects things. There was something I was trying to figure out how to do. And it took me ages to figure out how to do it. And I eventually did it. Hey! Oh, where's that noise coming from? Oh, it's my phone. Yeah, so I finally figured out how to make it happen. And so what I was trying to do, I was trying to make, let me show everyone what I was doing. Oh, it's kind of playing back at the moment. Yes, this is kind of what I was trying to do last night. I was trying to make a sine dimmer chase. And so let me show a normal one. Where's that coming from? No faders are up. That's playing for some reason. So this is what I was trying to do. Here is a cue that I created, which is, let's close that. So this cue here, Q5, is this on this playback here. It's just a dimmer chase. If I run it, you can see it's just doing center out with a spread and a width and a crossfade. Very simple. And you can see the lights doing that in the viz. I can make it a bit easier to see if I set all of the lights to be a tight beam. And then tilt them forward. Oh, forward. And then maybe fan them out. Something like that. And then let's do the nice thing where we make it look good in the viz by zooming out. Zoom out, hold shift, makes the field of view much wider. Alright, I could do with tilting down a bit. Okay. What's in the programmer? Oh yeah, all that stuff. So this is the cue. It's just a saw dimmer chase. Open the cue. It's just this. It's just this dimmer effect doing that. Okay, blah blah blah. Enough about that. Let's have a look at this other cue. So I've made this cue. It's my own effect, which I called test sine. And it does a dimmer chase in a sine wave fashion, which Chamsys, I don't think it has the option for. And I'm yet to try this in the real world, because everyone's stuck at home, but I think it's going to look a lot, well, maybe not a lot nicer, but a lot more different, because everyone's going to be so used to seeing saw waves with Chamsys stuff. I figured I'm going to make a sine wave, and then I've been thinking you can probably apply that sine wave to loads of other different things. But I was just thinking now, I'm aware that Chamsys has got the any attribute, so I wonder if they've got a sine which applies for any attribute that you can make for the dimmer chase as well, or if my effects is actually unique. Not very unique considering it's just a sine wave, but we'll have a look. So I think I want that sine, or maybe I want that cosine. Let's do sine. Yeah, sine on the dimmer. Is this about to burst my bubble? Oh, okay, this is interesting. If I change that to plus, interesting. Plus it only goes up to 50%. Oh, that's because size is there. It's got a weird snap right at the end. Does it work with, there's no width. You can't control width with it. But you can If you change crossfade, you get something ugly like that. Speed is fine. Parts will probably do exactly as you expect. It's got a really weird snap. My main gripe with it is you can't control width. Center in works. Everything else about it kind of pretty much works, apart from the fact that you've got to change the add mode, change the size, and all that jazz. But if you look at the effect that I've created, you can select your heads, go add effects, use a, what was it, I think test sine. And I straight away, it's doing my nice sine wave, and I can control the width. What I go to C, so I can make it be a real small sine wave, so I can make it act just like a normal dimmer chase, with no buggy, awful snapping to 255 at some point. And because you can control width, you can also hold shift and change the attack. So you can have this snap on, you can have snap on and sine wave curve down, or the other way around. Sine wave curve on and snap off. So, out of interest, I just want to look see what curve they were using for that sine effects. Add effects. Any. So, sine, blah blah blah. Now let's clear that effects, edit that effects. Oh yeah, 'cause they've done it in 4 steps. That's why you can't use width, and why when you change the crossfade, it goes from 0 to 128 to 255 to 128 to 0. With mine, if you change the crossfade, it acts as you expect. So I figure I may as well show you how to make this. I really hope it looks pleasing in the real world. It already looks really pleasing in just here. Right, so let's show you how it's done. So let's select the effects, the effect, test sine. Let's go into the effects window and go edit effects, and we can clear that out, that's fine. So, all I did was copy, what did I copy? I think I just copied dim chase. So you got 1 attribute, 1 head, 2 steps. Everything else is exactly the same. I changed the icon to be that, but I might change that to be an actual sine wave. I think that's what it is. Well, it's actually a... No, I'll keep it a sine. Where's the sine? There we go. So, yeah, that's all the same. I think... Oh, but I also said... Didn't I? Applies on any effects. Didn't I set to yes? Where is that option? Oh, apply to any attribute. No. I thought it was. Yeah. User test sine. Ah, maybe not. Oh, it was because when I was in the any attribute, that's why I was seeing that window. Anyway, back to that. Edit effects. So it's just the sine wave. or the dim chase, and that's been changed to the sine thing. And then in view channels, step 1 at 255, step 2 at 0, and then you want to create your own user curves with the curve editor up here. So I created a couple, cos1 and cos2, and for this curve all you're using is cos2, so cos2. So this is in the curve editor. You can choose your curves with encoder A. You can create up to 20, is it? Yeah, create up to 20 user curves. So cos1 is the first half of a cosine wave, and cos2 is the second half of a cosine wave. And after playing around with trying to figure out all the different ways of trying to make this effect work, it ended up being have each curve be cos2, so have each curve being, so basically you've just got to create this curve. Oh, go away. I haven't made any changes, so why are you showing me that? Step 1, 2, 5, step 2, 0. I'll show you how to create that curvy curve as well. So if we make a new one. No, I haven't made any changes. Actually, well, so initially these points won't even be here if you haven't created a curve at all. But what you got to do is go add point until you've got 4 points. But they always do these sharp lines in between. So I initially thought, oh, to make it curve, I'm going to have to add a load of points and kind of manually curve it. But there's an easier way than that. You just select your point, change it to spleen up here, change this one to spleen as well, and then boom, you've got a curve. And so it took me a while to figure out how to make this do a nice curve with the middle still going through 0. Because initially I tried to just turn these into spleens and like get rid of these, but yeah, it doesn't really do anything. And you don't really get much action if you just have one. So if you add another one, spleen, and then just move, wow, that's funky. Just put that one right now, let's change that back to normal. Put this one as close to it as you can without making it like bug out. And the same thing with this one, without making it bug out by disappearing. And having the center point go through 50-50, then you've got your nice curve. And that's how you make that curve. So if I reset that, let's go back. So this is the curve that you want. This one's actually not going exactly through 0, 0, but meh, fuck it. So you put that in there. This little graph shows nothing because it doesn't know what your curves are. I'm guessing because Chamsys has only got, it predefines what each curve looks like and then draws them in, or something like that. And that's it. Save it, call it your own user effects. In fact, I'm going to properly save it and call it dim sine. Dim sine, full sine, or just sin? Let's go full sine. What does remove x do? No, I don't want to do that. Let's remove the old one. Where is it? Test sine. Let's remove u. Don't want you anymore. Where's choose user? So these are all the effects that I've created over the past year or so. Can't even remember what a lot of them do. Some of them are pretty obvious. 2 color wheel, that's 2 color wheel. 2 frost, 2 frost. Most of them are pretty obvious. Some of them are a bit weird though. Some of them apply to any attribute, but it doesn't actually say. Inverse saw is a good one. Reverse circle is a good one. It's just the circle but reversed. Because it worked out. I kind of needed it for the show I was making back in November. normal sawtooth. Tilt width, that's tilt effect with width. Tilt sine bounce, no idea what that is. So anyway, I should have dim any sine wave. What is that? Don't know. Dim chase sine 2. I think dim chase sine 2 was like a test of me trying to make it work last night, as was that dim chase sine. Maybe that was too. But dim sine, that's the one I've just made. Let's have a look at what dim chase sine is. Oh yeah, that's the one which is like a... It's like a shark's tooth. Not a shark tooth, like a wave. I was also wondering if I can actually create a folder for my user effects. Because it would have been nice if you could put, if like there was a folder in each of these, which there was like a user folder in each of these or something. Or maybe even just like a different line, like one line for the normal stuff, another separate line for your own stuff. That would be pretty useful. But instead you've got to go into user and then figure out which apply to what. And if you don't have very good naming techniques, like me, it ends up being a bit jumbled. So I wonder if there's a way I can go into my directory for Chamsys and see if I can make a folder for it. I don't know if that will appear and if it will like it. Let's have a look. So, effects. So all these ones at the top are mine. It's interesting that it saves it. It's saving it as a WAV file. I wonder how long it is. It's probably only 255 samples or something. And like 8-bit depth or something like that. So yeah, I'm going to try and make a folder and see if I can folderize my effects. Probably not going to work. Dimmer. So it's probably going to be any sine wave, I think, applies to ooh. Yeah, so dim chase, double flash, that's a dimmer effect. Sine one shot, that's an any. Tilt sine bounce. Sawtooth is an any. Inverse saw is an any. Pan dim X fade, tilt dim, cross smooth, 8 class. My round dim. And then it gets to the Chamsys stuff. I highly doubt this is going to work, but let's just try. Okay. So Chamsys, let's see. Are you clever enough to figure out that I've made a folder? No. They just disappear. Damn it. I'm going to have to just redo my naming conventions and make names proper. Yeah, okay, so I'll get rid of... I guess I'll get rid of that folder. Actually, let me just go and choose effects. User... What if that's put them... No. Does anyone ever use flicker, flicker down, flicker sync, flicker up, flicker, or random chase? Random chase I've used like once or twice. It's never actually worked that nicely. Never used the flicker ones. It seems stupid that there's a whole folder with 7 things, and I always just use dim chase. And it always seems to be random whether it appears there or there. Stupid. Ooh, maybe advanced view will show me my folder. No, it just shows everything. Doesn't show folders in here. That's a bit annoying. Okay. I guess I can't have folders. Even though that's a really simple thing. Up folder doesn't mean anything in that menu. Okay, so they're back. If I rename one in the folder, would it rename it in Chamsys? I highly doubt it. So let's just do 2 color wheel because that's the first one there. We'll sort it the same way this is being sorted. 2 color wheel, rename. Ooh, it does. That's really handy. That means I can rename all my stuff here. So I will do a bit of organization. How can you sort? Oh, I didn't mean to close that window. You can sort by date or by name. Okay, useful. It only gives you 2 options for sorting. That's good. FX. So anything that's color, I'm going to put color at the front. Col 2 wheel. This is a beam. Beam to frost. Pause to pan. This is a beam. Beam to shutter. This is a 2-step that applies for any beam palette, I think. Actually, I think that's slightly different. I think it's like a prism 2-step thing. Go to CMY. Have I been editing Chamsys once by accident? Oh no. Dim sine. Dim just sine 2. Any. Okay, yeah, any can be any. Dim just sine. Beam 2-step. Dim. Double flash. That'll do. Pix 2 color. I don't think that's mine. I think that's an updated one. Sine 1 shot. Might be mine. Oh yeah, it's there. So that's an any. Any sine 1 shot. Pause, tilt, sine, bounce. Pause, cross, invert. Sawtooth is an any. Any, we'll reverse the order of these words. Oh, spell it correctly. Pause. Circle. Yep, reverse. Beam, Gobo, two-step. Yeah, I just did that. Pan, dim, X-fade. These are software ones. Cross smooth is mine. Pause, cross smooth. I think that's everything. Let's have a look again. I see problems. Three color wheel, that's mine. Cool. Three wheel. 8 pause is mine. And I'll rename that. Pause 8 step. Any sine wave could do with being capitalized. Just so I'm happy. Beam 2 frost, beam 2 shutter, beam 2 step, cull 2 wheel, cull 2 CMY, cull wheel flick. Dim, my rand dim. Dim random. Pause to pan. Pause tilt sine bonus. Tilt dim. Tilt width. Is that tilt dim mine? Maybe. I'm not sure. So I wanted to have a look and see if making the color effects sine waves would make it look pretty nice as well. It took me so long to figure out how to make that sine wave thing last night. Like trying to figure out what Chamsys is doing when you tell it to go between a value and another value, and how that actually applies to the curve that you've made. It took forever. But I got there eventually. So we need to, well, let's create let's just create an effect. So you're now going to watch me try and do something from scratch. Ish. So I'm going to have a look at let's have a look at the RGB one. And then I'll save as Col RGB sine. I'll set these to my curve and we'll see what happens. This is all about trial and error. Okay, let's just record them being on. Oops, oh, I didn't mean to do that. Oh. Do I have a queue where I included, like, stuff? No. That's upsetting. So let's zoom you way to narrow. That zoom channel needs editing. Whoever made that is an idiot. And yeah, so let's just record that on there. On fan. Alright, so that's the lights on. Let's apply that effect. So it's color, RGB sine. Ooh, that's interesting. Sometimes when you oversize the RGB, it looks pretty good. Oh, that's kind of interesting. I always find it stupid that this column, the order of these columns is not the same as the order of the encoders. Like, what is dictating the order of these columns? It seems to be random. I know it's the same every time, but it's like it feels like there's no logic behind it. Like, why aren't these ordered spread parts? I see why parts and segments should be together. Maybe it should be spread parts, segments, direction, size, crossfade speed. I don't know, but it just always throws me that spread is over here when I'd expect it to be near the beginning because it's on a code at A. Okay, well, it's interesting that it snaps to blue, snaps to red, snaps to green, green fades to red, blue fades to green, red fades to blue. If we change the effect, go to a normal one, RGB, so that's as expected. The only thing that's different is instead of using a ramp, and the ramp curve is literally just a straight line. Maybe it's the fact that it's going, it needs to be a different direction of the sine wave because you're going from 255 to 0. Okay, let me have a look at my, why can't I do that? Choose effects. Why can't I do that? Dim sine. So from 255 to 0, we're using cos 2. 255 to 0 is using cos 2. So 255 to 0 is using cos 2. So from 0 to 255 should maybe be cos 1. Maybe. And then from 255 to 255 should just be, well, it's going to be a flat line. no change. So something like that. See what happens. Okay, that's better, apart from the weird flashing. If we oversize that, we get RGB, but we're also getting flicks in the other areas, so that means I had this similar problem whilst creating colour, whilst creating the sine dimmer chase. It would flick the dimmer right up. And it was solved by swapping things around. Let's use the flicking. I don't see any flicking there. I don't see any flicking anymore. There's a bit of flicking there. I don't know if that's actually happening. You can definitely see it happening there. Well, I'll keep it and I'll see what it looks like in real life. Ooh, that blue value just flicked. Don't know why it does it. Maybe because there's not enough resolution in the blah blah blah. I don't know. Okay, well, that's kind of working. So let's. I quite like to make one for CMY because CMY always looks a lot nicer than RGB. Edit. So this is my user co RGB sign, and I will save as co CMY sign. And what's the difference that you do? Definitely need to change this. Where are you, CMY? Probably that. I'm betting. Let's have a quick check by checking against the real CMY. Oh, I need to take out a jump. Auto. Oh, auto invert RGB is on. Well, let's see what happens. Just doesn't like it. Probably because everything's on. That's basically it. Okay, let's edit it and let's change auto invert to be on. Save. And then the next thing I'll do is probably change those 255 values back to 0. Col CMY sine. Okay, and that's 0 because I've got no colour. Turn white off because no one wants white. Okay, so now we're doing an RGB. Yeah, well that's because I've just duplicated the effect and just called it something different. So yeah, those 255s need to change. Let's just, for fun, I'll take out that one, I'll take out that one, I'll take out that one. Save. Clear. Let's reapply it. Ooh. Kind of an interesting effect. It's kind of making it look more like a video wall with someone running a test pan or something. Let's change those back. And we'll kill you, and you, and you. Save. If this doesn't work, I'll just create it from... Yeah, that didn't work. I'll use a template of the real one. Let's template. In fact, let's remove. Let's choose color CMY. Save as. Col CMY sine. Could not copy effects. Why not? Is it because it's got the same name? Let's just... I'll try one more time. Col CMY sine. Could not copy. I'll try naming it slightly different. Oh, okay. Didn't like to recreate that name. So this should all be the same, except my 255 to 0 ramp should be 20, no, 21. 255 to 0. 255 to 0. I think that's it. Let's find out. Let's try it. Let's add it. Use it. Balls. Okay. The 0 to 255 still needs a value. Zero to 255. Let's try once more. I've got a good feeling about it this time. Okay, that didn't work. My RGB is working good. Why is the other one not? Ramp, ramp, ramp. What if I swap these over? I don't think it will do anything, but you never know. Maybe I'll understand it in some other way. So it's flicking up. Each value. What if I run it on an actual CMY head? I'm guessing it will look exactly the same. I don't know, what's CMY? Mega pointy. Mega pointy. I think that's what I'd place those other ones at. Minus 20 through 20. Oh no, it's minus 10 through 10. Minus 10 through 10. Cool. And we'll have them a little bit higher. Great. Mega pointies. Turn on, please. Be a beam. Oh yeah, a tight beam. Tight old beam. Let's point you up. Let's fan you out. And let's put you there. Mega. So megas and those. So first, let's see what happens when I add that RGB on the megas. Cal RGB. Huh. That's interesting. RGB sine is broken. It was just working. Is it? I swapped them around on the wrong one. I think. Let's have a look. Clear. Okay, yeah, back to normal. Okay, that's working. As expected, complete with glitches. The whole glitch thing is really annoying. I see it happen all the time. Color. Oh, so that means that I didn't actually swap it. So calcium Y sine should be broken still. Yes. We're on calcium Y sine. Okay. I've got a good feeling that this will work. 20, 21, 20, 21. Save. Get rid of that. Clear. I know I probably don't have to clear, but meh. Sweet. We've got our sine wave working. Let's edit this grid. So what's this? 37 by 2. And I'll insert. Actually, I will move those there and those. Oh no, I don't want to. Oh no. Didn't want to select you. Mega pointies. Insert heads. Perfect. Okay, yeah, that's what I want to see. So on that top row is my mega pointies doing the mega pointy thing. If I oversize it, I'll get a proper rainbow. In RGB fashion. Okay, this is interesting. So there's a proper rainbow RGB, proper rainbow on mega pointies with a sine wave. Now let's compare that to a proper rainbow using ramps. So the old-fashioned way of doing it. Oversize you. So that should be the same. Let's record that there. Turn that on. Alright, so this, now you can see the difference between having a color spread on having a rainbow effect using a sine wave and a saw wave. So on the top is a sine wave, on bottom is a saw wave. Top is sine, bottom is saw. Let's tilt the fixtures so we can see them a little bit more clearly. We'll move this camera. Double rainbow. Going just from the outputs window, ignoring the glitchiness, I prefer the bottom one. I prefer the ramp. I think. Like there's more. If I make this control speed, fader control speed, not size. Slow it right down. Yeah, I think I prefer the bottom. There's more blueness, there's more redness once you see the red. Now that I've slowed that down, that glitch is actually happening slower as well, so that's something to do with the waveform. Even though the waveform doesn't do that. Q. It won't be on those, it'll be on these. So just watch this. Don't know what's happening. Something's like snapping in at full when one of them gets to 0. Why is that doing that? So that jumps up. And then back down really quickly. Maybe it's because of the spleen. Let's have a look at my curves. Let's go into effects. Edit effects, curve editor. Oh, I haven't made any changes. So why are you asking me? What happens if I click that and go remove point? Oh, that was silly. That needs to be spleen. That needs to be linear. What happens if I do that? Will it break it? Will it just not like life? Save curve. Will it completely spaz out, or will it be fine? I think it'll completely spaz. Yeah, okay. So you can see those have now completely spazzed. If I calm it down a bit, let's say I do this. Save curve. What if I bring it slightly off from the floor? I think that fixes it. Just bring it slightly off the floor. So I'm just trying to match where I can see it going and make it still go through 0, 0. Save curve. I just saved it. Save curve. Yeah, it needs to be a bit further down, really. Something like that. Save curve. Okay, so these should now be running. Oh, they're still glitching. I've got some really weird deja vu about that, and for some reason I seem to remember doing this is a solution. I highly doubt this is going to be it. I highly doubt this will fix it. But if this is what my deja vu is telling me, maybe it will. Move that down a bit, move that up a bit. Save. Are they still broken? Yeah. Why can't they do... Why are they dying? Maybe they need to be set as spleen as well. Maybe that will solve it. Other than that, I'm at a loss. bizarre. Let's have a look at this one, which is going to jump to 0. Blue will jump to 255 and back down. Why? We'll never know. But when you run it at speed, and it's probably so quick that the lights wouldn't actually do anything. That's super dumb though. But I just can't be bothered to create a bug tracker, bug report, because it will just never get looked at. Someone will look at it and go, yeah, not important. We've got other things to worry about. Alright, let's see what other kind of effects I should be looking for. Let's see what I've actually got in here. Any saw inverse. Let's kill that. Oh, any saw. Oh, all my user effects are ruined. Well, not ruined, but these effects. This uses user 4. User 4 has been removed. I need to create it. Inverse saw. I haven't made any changes, so no point. Let's make inverse saw. I think it's just that. There we go. That's done it. So, does this effect have width control? It does. That is excellent. I like that. I did a good job with that one. What happens when you change the attack? Basically nothing. But it's kind of the attack already. So if you have that width real high. Ooh. So width at 50. Well, that needs to be plus. Yeah. See, that's the kind of effect I've sometimes wanted to make, and that's why it exists in my effects page. Inverse saw. Apply to any attribute. I like it because it works how I want it to work. Okay, let's have a look at what. So that was any saw inverse. This is any sawtooth. This is exactly the same. This is identical. What's so different about this effect? That icon's the wrong way around, I think. No, it's not. It is the right way around, actually. Depends which way you think about it. No, it should be the other one. Should be that, even though that's not what each light's doing. Let's save that. So what was any saw inverse, any sawtooth? That's any attribute user 4, 0. This is identical. I'm going to get rid of it. So any saw inverse, any sawtooth. Is this going to be the same again? I'm so confused with these effects that I've made. Okay, that's that one. That's another one which is exactly the same. FX, edit. That's any 0, user 4. Why? Why? Okay, so any sort. Let's have a look at this one. This is any sawtooth. I don't know why it doesn't show that any. Yeah, that should look like that. Why doesn't it show that icon? Any saw inverse should be the other way around. Any inverse saw. You should be the other way around. You should be that way around. And you should be using user 3. And user 3 should be, I've not made any changes, so don't ask me that. Should be that. Oops. Save curve. So this will be a fade on, snap off. Don't know why it's not updating those icons. It's updated it there. It's not updated it on the actual add effects. Whatever. Dumb. Dumb, 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 dumb. Why is that icon not updated? Okay, whatever. Let's have a look at any sine wave. Oh, did I? Yeah, I did. Okay, so what does this effect look like? So this is the wave. Any sine. I should rename this to like any sine shark fin or something. Any sine shark. Choose. Oh, okay. It just doesn't know what's going on. I've renamed it in the folder, but its name is still that. Oh, that's so dumb. They'd rather you saved as instead of just renaming it. Really? That's dumb. It's not software made for being used properly. I love it really. It's my favourite lighting software. But I know it too well. Which is why there's so many things I don't like. Effects, edit. No, what am I doing? Let's pick some more. So any sine shark, any sine one shot. This doesn't look like it's doing any sine one shot. Oh, this needs to be plus. Well, that's not really what I would. Really needs to be any cos one shot. And initial offset needs to be at 50. That's bizarre. If you keep typing 0, it just jumps it along everywhere. So what if I record it there and play it? Button, acts like fader, yes. Go. One shot sine. Fire. Fire. So add mode. If I set add mode to normal and oversize it, you kind of get what you want. And then you could change that width to be 75. Is width actually having any impact? Don't know if it actually is. Yeah, it's not doing anything. Probably because... Oh. That's the first time I've seen that in this beta. I knew it was a thing. I forgot it was like a thing. Okay, so this needs either editing or duplicating, because any sine one shot could be useful in some cases, and any cos one shot might be useful in other cases. So, oh, okay, it's got 4 steps. I think I'm going to change it to 2, and I'm going to use my curves that I created. Huh, that was funny. It just zoomed along the page. View Q. Change that width. Change that speed to be a bit slower. Set crossfade. Set that size to normal. Plus. Let's try again. Oh. Oh, no, not that one. That one. Why you no do nothing? I'm being an idiot. If I oversize it when I see it. Maybe I didn't hold it down for long enough. Oh yeah, there we go. It's just really slow. Yeah. That's what I would expect. That's more like it. And then you can actually change the width of that. Cool. I like that. Yeah. I'll cross some bridges when I get to them for using that on other attributes. Let's have a look at some other effects that are in there. I completely forgot what all of these basically are. Beam 2 frost. Interesting. What is this effect? It shouldn't apply to any attribute. No. Yeah, that's correct. Use palettes beam. Yeah. Yeah, so that's fine, I think. Beam 2 frost. So if there's like a frost on and a frost off, I'm just going to assume there are, because I'm too lazy to go through and find out where that is. What else is there? 2 frost, 2 shutter. 2 shutter's probably pretty good. Mega pointies. So that is jumping from... Let's have it shutter open and shutter fast. Okay, that's kind of cool. Crossfade set to 0. That's what you would probably want. What if you set parts to like 2 and made it real fast, and then edited that beam palette, or is it shutter fast, to be actually not random strobe? Something like that. So change U to be like 2 and then back to 4. Yeah, that's kind of interesting. Yeah, I like 2 shutter. It's kind of a cool effect. I like it, and it works. Alright, let's have a look what else I've got. So, beam to shutter, beam to step. I think this applies to literally anything. Okay, I don't see anything happening. So, 2 attributes. Absolute doesn't apply to any attribute. Oh, this is 2-step prism. This needs to be renamed. Let's do a save as beam 2-step prism. Two-step pris. And I will go and choose that one and remove it, because this is the way that Chamsys wants me to do it, even though it's still there. So I've got beam 2-step, ignore unused palettes. Yeah, that should be yes. Failed to remove effects. Oh, because it's been renamed. It doesn't know where to find it. Maybe I've ruined all of my effects. By doing that. That's so dumb. So what was it called? Oops. Oh. Edit effects. Choose user. It would be called beam 2-step. Okay. So I should just be able to delete you. And that should be it. Okay, it's disappeared. That's good. So this was the one we just saved. Beam Gobo 2-step. Okay, that's probably going to be fine. For this one, I'm going to just quickly test it. It might need to have all of the color channels kind of included in there. That should be yes, yeah. So this was 2 coal wheel. Well, no, it's... Oh, this whole naming thing is dumb. User coal 2 wheel. Let's go from red to blue. And this is using the CMY modules. Oh, that one was interesting. Anyway, that's kind of working. But I would like to edit it and just add some other attributes in here. So we got, where are we? Col 1, Col 2, yep, those are in there. CMY and white. Amber is quite often one that you need. And CTC or CTO. CMY, W. Why does it normally put lime and UV? Oh, damn that. Yeah, let's include those. Needs to be 2, 2. I'll save you. Two car wheel. So what does 2 CMY do? Oh. This is an inbuilt? Why is it appearing in user? Is it because I renamed it by accident? I think so. I wouldn't have thought... I didn't realise 2 CMY was a thing. So if I get rid of that, 2 CMY is its original name. So this will probably go back to normal. I would hope. Edit effects. I don't know. Choose effects. Col 2. Yeah, Col 2 CMY has disappeared. That's good. So Col 2 wheel, Col 3 wheel, Col CMY sine, Col RGB, Col wheel flick. I will add... Oh, I need to add 2 to that other one as well. Oh, that's interesting. I haven't... Oh no, yeah, that should be like that, I think. I don't know what these curves are, but this is what Col flick is on in the inbuilt stuff. Amber, amber, amber. Lime UV, save. And the other one I just need to change was Col 3 wheel. Ooh, that's interesting. Glitchy. 8. What was that? 3 there. Number of steps. Oh, of course. 2, 3. And that. Ooh, ramp. This is amber. This is lime UV. Yes. Three color wheel. Is there a better? Surely there's a better. That one. Save. Edit. Choose. 3. Oh. God damn. Oh, I see. Oh, that's really frustrating. It's duplicating the stuff because I renamed it in the folder. Friendly tip, never rename stuff in the folder, in the effects folder. Chamsys will not like you. So I need to remove this. Three color wheel 3, remove effects. Effects removed. Now it's back there. Oh, I've really done a number on this. I mean, it still works. Dim chase. Alright, so let's go through this mess of dim chase stuff that I've made. Turn those off. User. Dim chase sine. Okay, so it's like the shark tooth one. Dim chase sine. Could not load effects. All I did was double click on the icon. Ugh. It's not going well for me today. Effects. Edit. Choose. User. Dim chase sine. I feel like this should be a sine wave. And I will rename it dim chase wave sine. Something like that. So let's choose you, and I will remove you. Dim chase wave sine, okay. Dim chase sine 2. So you can be put on any head. So I should change you to be called any sine wave or something like that. And this should be a sine. I'm blind. There it is. Save. And then I'll go back and delete the other one. So dim it was that one I just changed, right? Dim chase sine 2. Any sine wave. I need to remember that sine wave means it looks like a wave, not a sine wave. It's not very good naming etiquette. Okay, what have we got next? I thought I just deleted you. Remove. Fail to remove effects. Probably because it's named something fucking different. Oh, man. Dimcha sine 2. This has really not become a used enough folder. Dimcha sine 2. Delete. Okay, it's gone. Dim double flash. Yeah, well, this should work. Add effects. User. Dim double flash. It runs so slow because maybe I'll make that its own. Instead of having 8 parts, maybe I should make it be a bit better. Maybe I should draw the wave a little bit more better instead of just being 2450, 2450, 0000000. Like I could, I should name these inv saw and saw. See, if I made this literally just be something like this. Then that would do it in one. I think 2 steps is what you need there. 2 steps would be nice. So I'm just gonna have a quick play. I'll save this as a new one. Is that right? 20. Oh, 25 is actually on that line. So this wave can be called double square. Why can't I save as? Dim double flash test. Number of steps 2. we want to use our user effect double square, and we'll have a ramp, and we'll go from 0 to 0. Let's have a look. Let's see if this works. Oh, why has it made them twice? This is bizarre. Effects, edit effects. Dim double flash to. And dim double flash test. They're both the same. I don't think I clicked save as twice. Dim double flash test. I don't know if YouTube is actually still streaming me. I'm getting this thing saying it's not maintaining smooth streaming. Hopefully it's still working. Who's using lots of internet at 20 to 3 in the morning? Add effects user. Dim double flash test. Okay, that's interesting. Ooh, something happened. If I oversize it, will I see anything? Huh. Okay, that didn't work. Oops. Add effect, user. Dim double flash still works, which is fine. That's what I would expect. Dim double flash test. That double square. It's going from 0 to 255. I don't know, maybe I need to set step 2 as 255. If this works, it would... Why are you making that file again? Is it because I named you too long? Bugs everywhere. This is called dim double flash to. Let's just call it dim. Oh. Oh, Jesus. It's just broken. Dim dub test. All caps. Okay, now let's go and delete those others. Remove. Remove. Did that say cannot remove? Failed to remove? What a piece of crap. My icons, show, effects, delete. One of these I want to keep, which is the real one. Okay, I think that's fine. Dim double flash, so that's the one that works, that's good. I need to keep that because my main show runs off of that. User dim double test. Alright, it's doing a thing. It's not what we want. I'm just trying to make it so that you don't have 8 steps in an effect, because that's really slowing down the speed. What if you got rid of this point, had it start up there, finishes down there? So this starts at 0. Or it ends at 0. Still not unclear as to whether that means start at 0 or end at 0. And this is pulse end or something like that. Ooh. That worked. Kind of. The effects engine is really weird. It does work eventually, but it's been a bit tricky to make it work. Don't care about the key, I care about the programmer. So does that mean I can now change the width? Yeah. That's actually pretty useful. Could be. I'll rename it and I'll save it as another effect. So edit. So we've got our double square pulse end. We are using width. Save as dim bubble double flash v2. Save. Now, has that made it dim double flash v2? Okay. I'll delete that one. Edit effects. Okay, it's still in there. Let's just double check that is still working. Dim double flash v2. Yep. Okay. So if that goes down to 5, that is pretty handy, actually. Could do with being bit faster. Cool. What else have I got going on? Effects. So that was my double flash. What is my random? Doesn't look very random. That was weird. It starts off like a sine wave. What if I record it onto a new page? Whenever you fire it, it's a sine wave and then it becomes random. Alright, what happens when you record a one which is normal? Intensity. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. Oh no. Mega. There we go. Next page. So this is my random. Add effects. Intensity. See, that dim chase button used to be over there. Oh, I haven't changed my sort order, but it's changed itself. Ow. Let's record that there. I'll call that inbuilt random. This is my random. So now we can see the difference between them. Alright, that's my random, inbuilt random. Let's make these a whole lot faster. My random, inbuilt random. So inbuilt random still starts with a bit of a sine wave. My random is a really bad sine wave, but I get the feeling my random uses width. It's kind of using width. Inbuilt random, you can't have width. So what is the difference between them? Let's include that and then have a look at it. And I just go from 0 to 255. That random is awful. There's got to be a way to improve that. I also wish that when you view a queue, it doesn't jump to view levels if there's nothing in there. If there is only effects, just please jump to the effects part of it. That looks awful. But then that doesn't start very nice either. That does the same thing as mine. It starts normally, and then it changes into being random. Which is probably why they made it. It's probably why they bodged it to make it have 8 steps. But by doing that, it means you can't use width. Why can't they just improve the random number generator? It's not very difficult to make a random number generator, I would have thought. Okay, well, I never use that anyway, so I'm probably gonna never use my random, but I'll keep it anyway. Let's have a look at what else we've got going on. Come on, mouse, don't die on me. Dim random, dim sine, inverse saw. I don't like how I've named all my stuff. That should be called any dim saw. Oh man. Effects. Oops. Effects. Inverse saw. Oh no. I think my mouse batteries are dying. I love crashing MagicQ. Are we back in action properly now? View visualizer. Visualizer's back. Is okay. We should be back. Let's sort this view out. That's better. Times 10. Hey, Matt. Sorry not related to effects. Just wondering why it was like... What it was like to win at LDI. Oh, did they say anything particular about why your show was chosen besides that it rocked? It was pretty cool to win. It was a lot of hard work because when they did the competition, it was at... what show was I loading? It should just be the last one. Yeah. So when they did the competition, it was in October or whenever LDI was, and it was the autumn time, so I was stupidly busy, and everyone else usually is stupidly busy. So I figured anyone who's any good at programming is probably going to be so busy that they won't have time to program it. And the people who would have time to program for the show were probably not going to be quite as experienced on the software as me. Putting it politely, to put it harshly, the people who aren't busy are the shit ones or something. So I basically just pulled all-nighters every night to make it happen. So it was pretty tough to do. So, but by the time I submitted it, I was like, right, yeah, this show is banging. If someone beats me, I would be very surprised. So it was still amazing to win. But equally, I was kind of half expecting to win, really, because I knew the show was like baller. Hours programming. I don't know. I heard about the competition on like a week, like 7 days before. Didn't start programming until 5 days to go. I probably overall did something like 24 hours of programming, maybe. Something like that. And the rest of the time was working/sleeping. What did they say about it? They just, they just said that it looked good, that it made good use of the rig. There's actually some interview somewhere with Chris Kennedy of Chamsys where he describes why he thought it was good. But it's basically the general things of it looked good, there was a good range of effects that were being used, static looks, moving looks, and the fact that it was time-coded as well. Basically, it was that. So my effects have just completely died. Basically, earlier in the stream, I thought it might be a good idea to go into the effects window and the folder where they're kept and rename them here, which did kind of work. It did rename them in Chamsys as well. But the only downside is that, so it renamed them here, but if I click on it, it still has the name of the old version, so it kind of ruined everything. Whatever you do, don't rename your effects in the effects folder, because it's been causing me problems now. So now I kind of have to go through and kind of save them all. I don't know which ones are working and which ones aren't working. They all work, it's just the names are all fucked. And then at the moment I'm kind of just going through to see which of my custom effects still work and which are useful and which I need to just throw away. So, yeah, inverse saw. This was one that I think this will crash the software. Yes. Okay. So that will need to go. Let's reload it. Where are you, Chamsys? There you are. Continue show. Okay, so what one was that? Edit. Choose inverse saw. So I need to delete inverse saw. Effects. Because I've already got an inverse saw. Delete. Cool. That should have solved that problem. But mega pointy, add effects, user. Good. Inverse saw is no longer there. Position to pan. Let's do center and up. Actually, no, to pan. That won't do it. Why have I got a to pan? And why isn't it just a to pos? Sure, there was a good reason for it. Oh well, I'll keep it. Might come in useful. Let's try another one. User. Actually, no, let's just make sure it works. So far left and far right. Maybe it's because of width. Does width work on this? It does. Always like that. Direction, does this work? Yes. That also works. Okay. Yeah, that works. 2 pos pan, pos 8 step. It's probably going to work. Center, far left. Now they're just going to go everywhere. Well, 8 pos works, I know that works anyway. Circle reverse, that's probably going to work. I'm just going to see what the difference between circle reverse and normal circle actually is. Because I think I know what it is, but I just confirm for my own sake. Norm circle, rev circle. Change that to fader, change that one to fader. So that does Are they exactly the same here? Yes. So that does, at the bottom of the circle, is where everyone gathers. And this does it at the top of the circle where everyone gathers. Yeah, I kind of like that. Pos, cross, invert. Maybe that size shouldn't be defaulting to 100. It kind of does work out quite nicely once. Yeah, it does kind of work out quite nicely once you can bring that size right down, so I might just edit that size, because that would be annoying. Selected head, suffix, size 70. Interesting. Edit effects, cross invert, default spread, default size, probably like 25. That's called cross invert, so I bet it's just made a new effect called cross invert somewhere. Yeah. Pause cross invert. Okay, so I need to rename this. Effects, edit effects, save as, pause, cross, inv. Pause cross inv is what I want it to be called. Delete you. Cross invert, remove you. Okay, that's worked. Pause cross smooth. Semi-smooth? Oh no, it's because it's still not running it properly. So this is cross smooth. Pause cross smooth. Pause cross. Let's just make it 3 O's. Pause cross smooth. Ooh, I just called it smooth. Pause cross smooth. Delete you. Edit effects. Choose. Pause cross smooth with 3 O's. I think that's worked out fine. Let's have a look, see what that looks like. Pause cross smooth. Oops, 100, direction, center in. That is pretty smooth. Fairly smooth. What else have we got? Pause cross smooth. Pause tilt sine bounce. What is this? It's just a tilt sine wave. So why have I made it? Why have I made it its own effects? I don't know. I don't remember making this. Tilt sine bounce. Oh, I think I was trying to make it work and I remember trying to troubleshoot something. I think it was that. But seeing as it's here, I think I want it to be like, to follow the namesake. I'd quite like to make it be an actual bounce. But the opposite of that, 2550. Save. And let's reload it. Pause tilt sine bounce. Pause tilt sine bounce. Okay, I do want it the other way around. Maybe. Effects, edit effects, because I want the bounce to be at the bottom, whereas instead they seem to be bouncing at the top. Save. Let's re-add that effects. Isn't there a soft button which is like remove effects? Add effect zero size. Meh. Pause tilt sine bounce. There we go. Now they're bouncing. Boing, 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 boing. So that's pause tilt sine bounce. That might have renamed itself in the folder tilt sine bounce. Yeah, so it's now duplicated itself because I renamed it. So I need to save it as... What's a good name for it? Oh, no, it won't let me save. Pause. Let's just call it tilt bounce. Pause tilt bounce. And I'll delete the others. Delete you. Pause tilt sine bounce. Remove. Perfect. Pause tilt bounce is there. Excellent. Okay. Sawtooth. That should be called like any sawtooth, which already exists up there. Okay, so I need to rename some bits. Sawtooth. any sawtooth v2. This is any sawtooth v2. Let's select U and remove. Okay. Any sawtooth v2. Cool. So is there any sine shark, any sine wave, any sine one shot, any sawtooth v2, any saw inverse? Save effects. So that should have created a stupid duplicate one. Oh, there's also a sine one shot duplicate. So there should be a saw inverse duplicate. Oh yeah, that inverse saw. So I need to call this any saw inverse v2. Oh, it won't let me save as. Inverse saw. Any inverse saw v2. Oh, not too long. Any inv saw v2. Delete some of the old ones. So delete U. Any saw inverse. Any inv saw, any shark, any sine one shot. Any sine one shot v2. Pause tilt bounce. Okay. Tilt dim. This should be renamed pause tilt dim. Pause tilt dim. Tilt width. Save as. Pause tilt width. Okay, they should all work now. That width should be default at 50. Default size, I'm going to change to 30. Save. There we go. Now I can have a tilt effect with a width, which kind of looks quite similar to the solo one. So what does my tilt dim effect look like? I want medium view. Change that to be like 50, like 30. How well does it work? Seems to work quite well. Change this to something random. Make like 15 parts. Oh god, that looks a bit too in sync. Let's reorder. Random. Oh, does that randomize them including dimmer and tilt? Even though I'd still like dimmer and tilt to be kept the same. Oh no, it should be keeping them the same. It's just decided to make the dimmer's size smaller. That's fucked. Why did I put so many lights in here? Oh, it's broken anyway. Maybe when I record it, it will be fixed. Oops. Ah, there, that's the button. Record there. Let's see what it looks like when I play it back. Garbage. Why is that broken so much? It's really broken. Oh well, I don't like doing that anyway. I prefer making my own customly. I've been meaning to change this head to be a bit more accurate. Channels, ranges. Where's my zoom range? Zoom. You need to have a wide and a narrow. Wide. Oh, really? You can't call that wide to narrow. That should be 0, that should be 1, that should be 255, that should be 255, that should be 254. And ideally you would have palettes for those. Really? There's no icons for that? Oh, I needed to press set and then press enter. Attribute values. It's probably these. Yeah, that is wide. Which one is it? That one. That one. Save head. Yes. Regenerate palettes. Let's see if it did it. Did it make the palettes? Yeah, but it fucked up the things. And also, it fucked up that in general. Why is it? What? Why? Get rid of them. Try regenerating them again. Patch. Edit head. Regenerate palettes. Why can't it do it? Why can't it make those palettes? And why can't it just give those icons? What if I say 3? Regenerate palettes. It's not very clear what that does. Let's remove every palette. And we will regenerate them from scratch. Regen. Still can't do it. That's not what I told that to be. Those aren't the right images. Maybe it's because this is the latest beta. Maybe it's just shit. Maybe it's because it's a 16-bit. That could be it, maybe. Surely not, though. That would be dumb as fuck. If I set those to 0, it shouldn't make those palettes. I know I've strayed away from effects, but I just wanted to see if I could get this done. Oh, I said the word effects. That made me go in there. Edit. Regen. So that... Oh, it does make them still. I wonder why. Maybe it's got something in the palettes. I don't think so. They never do. Yeah, there's nothing there. Bizarre. Hey Sam, how many Qs did you have for the competition? For the one that I won, 59. And the one that's just happened, I ended up not even bothering entering because I was lazy and didn't get around to creating that show. I think it was 59. It should be in the description of the video. I'll get back to this problem some other day. Maybe I'll talk to the Chamsys people about it and see what's going on there. Meanwhile, can I create an interesting effect? I want to see if I can do some CMY/RGB flicks a la Avalites. So, effects, edit effects, let's choose one of the original ones. And let's see what red flicker's got in it. Oh, okay. I should be able to work off of this. CMY RGB flick test. Really? You can't have more than 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. You can't have more than 15 characters. That's so silly. Okay. What do I want this to be? I didn't mean to do that. I don't want it to use a palette. No. Maybe I do. No, I'll keep it as a red flick, CMY, but I'll just do it with sine. See how that works. So that's 0 to 0, so that should just be all zeros. Magenta, trans, absolute. Don't know what trans actually means. 60 Qs in one Q stack and 40 as time code playbacks. Sounds cool. Hopefully you've submitted it before time's running out, depending what time zone you're in. I think I want to tell this to be one of my custom ones. Probably. I think. Let's see what that does. Save that. Actually, I want to add another attribute. This will have to be the white channel, because if you've got an RGBW head, I want that to be 0 all the time. Okay, let's see what happens. I'm not expecting great things. Really? It's made 2. CMY RGB. CMY RGB flick test. Why? Add effects. No heads with the required attributes. Ignore unused. Oh. Okay. No heads with required attributes still. Pretty sure. You just tell it to... But it's got those attributes. It's got CMY. Maybe if I get rid of the W. Save. Make a point E. Okay, what if I just had the normal one? Red flick. They took like... Oh, I don't know how long they took to go through it, but because it was the LDI competition, they... Well, it was the top 3 that went through to go to LDI, but they announced the top 3 after like a week, or like a week and a half. So, yeah, after a week and a half, you might expect them to announce the top 3. Something like that. And then after they played back the top 3, it was pretty much only an hour later I found out. Nah, YouTube link and Google Drive would be fine, and even if they can't open it, like you've still sent it to them. So it's, if they were unable to open it, they would probably just contact you and say, can you send it to us another way because we can't open it. How many people usually compete? I think the last one it was only like 50 odd, but this time there might be a whole lot more because everyone's stuck at home. So I expect maybe 150 odd people might have put something in. Probably 30 of them are probably any good, I think. So that width works there. Why does my red flick not work? Maybe all my colours are up. Oh no, I need to chuck them in. Something weird, something fucky with this effect. I don't think it likes being called a cos1. What was the others? They were like trans, weren't they? Trans and abs. I don't know what trans means. Transient? Transfer? Save. Oops. User. Okay, that still doesn't work. I was trying to build effects through a Q stack, and it wouldn't let me run more than 2 Qs in an FX. Oh, where you make where you go wherever it is, make effects. Maybe you need another Q in here. There it is. That soft button. Do you mean when you tried to use that soft button there? Oh no, it is there when there's just one. I've tried making effects in here before. All it does is it tries its best to translate your cues into this as much as it can, and it usually does a really terrible terrible job of it. So it's good to know how to use this window. It's also a complete bitch, but it depends on the effects you're trying to make. What's in the old? Is there a one which is just called bounce or something? What is bounce 4 steps? What? Why are you showing me this? What is going on? I want this window. Bounce 4 steps. Is any attribute 255 to 0? Oh, I see. Oh, that's kind of interesting. Bounce 4 steps. The only downside of that is there's no width. Although, it's probably more for something else. Select attribute to apply effects to. It would probably be really good if you could have that be palettes. Let me see if I can make one. Bounce for palette. 15 characters, isn't it? Any bounce for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Should be able to fit this. Any bounce 4. So I wonder. Basically, width will only work if you've got 1 step or 2 steps. If you've got 3 steps or more, width won't work. It just gets deactivated. But if I make this use palettes, you can't tell it to be any. So maybe use palettes colors. Use width, no. Yeah, why not? Edge mode, absolute 6. Number of heads 4. Huh. I've never seen it say number of heads before. It needs to have more attributes. Maybe 4 attributes. So maybe this should apply to any attribute, no. Oh, where's the colors? How do I... Give me colors. There we go. Ah, there we go. 17, 18, 19. Okay, so... I don't know if I will be able to do this. Step 1. Oops, that should be 2. This isn't going to look as good as I think it will. Also, I'm not sure if what I'm doing is the right thing. Oops, that should be 2. Save. This is basically a 2-color bounce across 4 heads. No heads with the required attributes. Well, that is bollocks. Just because it's not got a white. No heads with required attributes. That shouldn't. It doesn't have white. But those lights don't have color wheels. So why does it do it for that, but it doesn't do it for that? Whatever. Oh well. Crappy software anyway. Let's just make it. Number of attributes 8. Oh, that's because I'm on the wrong effect. Choose user any bounce 4. Number of attributes 3, even though it should work with 4. 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. Save. Where do I tell it to? It should be using palettes. Any bounce 4. Use palettes color. Huh. That's weird. Color 2. Weird. I'll give up on that idea. Remove. Goodbye. What's a good effect that I can think of? What other curves have they got in there? Maybe some kind of conglomerate 2-color position. Let's give it a go. Why not? Or a 2-color dimmer, rather. That could be cool. That's stupid. So if you click, oh, that's so dumb. Choose effect. So we want something like the tilt dim, but we will call it a coal dim. So attributes, probably going to need more than 2. Probably going to need like 7. Number of steps. Yeah, we'll go with 4. Add mode. Plus. Oh, that's going to be tricky to think about. Color 1, color 2. C, M, Y, oops, Y, white. And it would need to use palettes ideally, but then you can't do that for position. Okay, that's not going to work. Remove effects. You could just make it yourself though. If you did... In fact, let's use my dimmer chase now. Dim sine. Beautiful. Lovely sine chase. Not ugly, ugly sword chase. Blech. Blech. So do that. And then I want to add... Go away. Like a 2-color. Red. Classic red and blue. Okay, now our red and blue is following precisely. Let's put it here. That way we can edit it real time. Make something that looks pretty good. Oops. Make that center in. Probably make the same spread. We want the width of that to be 50. And just want to offset that by 25%. We want to turn those on a little bit. Oh, I see. It's only being red and blue when it's off. So I need to halve the speed of that. 4.8. And then restart that. Set that to 0. Why is that red catching up? Am I being dumb? Should that be always 2.4? Yeah, it should, but the spread should be like double? No. Oh, I can't think. I know what I'm doing. That should just be 0. That should just be 0 with a little offset. That's it. So if I just tell this run to be, no, set them both to be 2.4, tell this one to be double, that way I can just control everything. There we go. And then change these to be whatever. That's more like what I'm thinking of. Sadly, I'm pretty sure you can't save that as an effect. You could save it in the effects in your library. So you could include it, go to effects and record it there, and call it dim color. And then if I select those, then they do the same thing. Oh my god! So it's basically the same. It's just not as good as MA's. Where MA have got template and what's the other one? Template and something effects. Meh. How long has this been going on for? Oh, like 3 hours. I don't know if I can think of anything else to affect at the moment, so I might call it there. Kind of gone through everything. I'm going to delete this. I'll get rid of that. Who cares about that? Effect. I'm already in effect. Edit effect. Yeah, remove. What does extract user effects do? Don't really want to do that. Add group effects. Yeah, that's basically going to be it for now.